Good evening. Good evening, all.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to
Okay.
Evening.
So I'm hoping you are all doing fine. And it is my hope that you had a fantastic weekend. So I want to welcome you back to our today's session. So the last session that we had, we did explore the Tableau interface, of which by now I'm sure you're familiar now with the Tableau interface. I also shared some additional notes over the weekend just to reinforce what we had learned the previous two classes. So when you go through those notes, you'll be able to navigate the Tableau interface well. So we did some visualization. So today we look at it will be just be a continuation of that. So what we are going to learn today, we'll look at the circle of analytics in Tableau, and then we'll look at also the foundation of building visualizations in Tableau. So let me share my screen. So we are going to look at the circle of analytics, and this can apply to whichever tool you are using to analyze data, not Tableau alone. So the first step, as you can see in this chart, is the step of data discovery. So as a data analyst, when you're working with data, or if you are working as a data professional, you'll always be going through these steps whenever you are analyzing your data. So first of all, you have to know what kind of data do you have. So you must explore and know all the variables in details that are there in your data before you can begin even your data analysis. So that is usually the first step. That's usually the first step whenever you are analyzing data. So know all your variables. So because you cannot proceed with your analysis without knowing the kind of data that you are dealing with. So you must explore to know more about your data. So that is the step of data discovery. And then the second step is that of data preparation. So whenever you've explored your data, you have to now to prepare your data. So, and data preparation is sometimes it takes most of your time, because you might find that your data is not in the right format, and therefore you need to work on it. You have to format your data, or you have to clean it for it to be in the right form. So you cannot just do your data analysis when you haven't prepared your data, because whatever you are inputting in your whatever that is the garbage in is always garbage out. So you must make sure whatever you are analyzing is in the right form before you can perform any data analysis. So, and you'll find most of the times it may involve maybe extracting data from various data sources, for instance, from a server like MySQL or Access, and so on, then bringing that data together um, so that you can have a complete data set that you can work with. So the other step is that now of data analysis. So data analysis, you perform this after you've done the second step. And the second step is always very important because it involves even the work of doing what is called data modeling. So data modeling simply means you are trying to create a relationship between tables that are there in your data set. So you have to do that before you begin your data analysis. So the third step of data analysis, now this is where now you visualize your data the way we had started. So here you are trying to uncover what is hidden in your data. You are trying to extract insights or to understand whether we do have trends in the data, or do we have any outliers in our data set, or are there any relationships in this data set. By relationship, we mean you are exploring things like to do with correlation, whether there are some variables that are correlated in your data set. So I think we shall look this when we look at various types of visualization using Tableau. And then after now you've analyzed your data, here comes the fourth step of data storytelling. So here you are just reporting the findings from your data. So you have to collect insights and put them in either in form of a story, or you create interactive dashboard that can explain the narrative behind your data. So that is the stage of data storytelling. And this is a very important step in data analysis, simply because here is where now you meet with the stakeholders of the business and tell them from this data, this is what's happening. And it's from this point whereby key decisions have to be made. So you have to really master the skill of data storytelling. So this is where your communication skills come into play. Can you be able to communicate the findings to the stakeholders effectively so that they can use whatever your findings to make important business decisions or not? Most of the times you find most data analysts, they are good in the first three steps. That is, they can do data discovery well, data preparation, come to data analysis. But now when it comes to the part of communicating the findings to the stakeholders, sometimes it's a bit hectic to some guys. So it's important to master the skill of data storytelling to tell or to communicate the finding in a more convincing and persuasive manner. Yeah, so those are the four key steps of data analysis, and they are iterative in nature. So after we've covered that, we'll go to foundations of building visualizations in Tableau. So we had connected our data to Tableau. We had an Excel data, that is the Superstore dataset that we were analyzing. So we managed to import the data into Tableau. So, but before we can continue with our visualization, we have to understand key aspects whenever we are dealing with data in Tableau. So we had covered the interface. I won't dwell much on the interface of Tableau. So what we have to bear in mind whenever we are analyzing data in Tableau is the data types that we do have. So we must make sure that all your variables or all your fields are in the right data type. So we have various data types in Tableau. So for instance, you can find a variable either is a string or it's a text. So you must make sure that if it's a text or string, it is in the right format. You might find maybe it is a geographical data, for instance, name of countries, maybe cities. You might find maybe it's in the form of longitudes and latitudes. So there is a way that data is represented in Tableau. So you might find some data types such as date. So whenever a variable is a date, it should not appear in Tableau as a string or a text. So you must make sure if the date is in the right format. It should be in the right format because whenever you are analyzing this data, so when your variable is not in the right format, you might not be able to get what you want, or the findings that you get might be misleading. So you might find variables like numbers, those are numeric data types. So the type of data types that I've just mentioned in Tableau, they are represented by symbols. So for instance, if a variable is a string, you'll find that it is represented by the symbol ABC. So hope you can see where my cursor is, ABC. So when you see that, it means that that variable is a string. And then if the variable is, for instance, represent geographical location, you'll find that it is represented by the globe. So the globe, when you see a globe, it means you are presenting geographical data. Yeah. So when you see a calendar, it means that that variable is a date. So when you see, for instance, a hashtag, it means that variable is a numeric. It's in the form of a numerical data type. Yeah. Yeah. So all numerical values, they'll be in the form, the symbol that represent them is a hashtag. So before you begin any visualization, make sure that all your fields or all your variables are in the right data type. Yeah. Yeah. So after knowing various data types, we have also to bear in mind two types of data that we normally deal with. So as you had learned from statistics, we do have continuous and discrete data types. So knowing your data, the type of data that you have, to dictate the kind of data that it is, whether it's continuous or discrete. But in most cases, you'll find that categorical variables, they are always discrete, and continuous variables or numerical variables, they are what? Continuous in nature. So how can you distinguish that in Tableau? So in Tableau, whenever a field is continuous, when you try to visualize it, it is the color is green, and if it's categorical or discrete, it's blue. So for instance here, you see we were visualizing sales and product category. So category is a discrete field. So it is not continuous. It is it's categorical data. So it is represented by the blue color, as you can see. So sales is a numerical data type, and it's represented by the green color. So that is the difference between discrete and continuous variables. So I won't dwell much on that because we had covered that in statistics. So another point to remember is the concept of measures and dimensions. So normally dimensions are in form of categorical data, whereas measures, they are always in continuous data type. So in most cases, or let me say generally, whenever you are dealing with measures, you are dealing with data that can be aggregated. So by aggregation, we mean you can find an aggregate such as sum, average, standard deviation, variance, and so on. But with dimensions, this is a categorical variables that is used as a separator or to provide dissection of continuous data type. For instance, when we are analyzing cells, we know cells is a continuous variable. But now for us to dissect cells so that we can be able to know, for instance, in each category, how much cells were made, we have to introduce now a dimension. So a dimension is used as a dissector so that we can be able to dissect our data and know each category, the amount of that variable. So that is the difference between measures and dimensions, and it is crucial as a data analyst to be able to differentiate the two before you do any data analysis. So maybe any question up to that point?
Hi. Maybe a clarification.
So I said I said for continuous data, it's green, right? Then for categorical data or discrete data, it's represented by a blue color. Oh, that's clear.
Yes.
Yeah. So even as you can see, I think I illustrated this. Whenever we drag cells into columns, you can see the difference. So it means cells is a continuous variable. It's a measure. So it's represented by a green color. But when you see category, for instance, and subcategory, these are discrete fields. They are dimensions, and they are represented by a blue color. So data can either be in form of a measure or a dimension. Only those two. And the two colors are the ones that are used to differentiate them. That's the green and blue. Okay, hope you are answered. So
Yes. So that means the any that like we'll have for the rows will just it will be blue. But if it's now
no,
okay, so let's say
it's not that way, because you see we can have this view in different forms. So remember last class we said you can swap rows to be columns and columns to be rows, depending on how you want your visualization to appear. For instance, if I swap this, you see now what is in the rows? Cells, isn't it? Yeah. So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter that you say, or we cannot conclude that in the rows we normally have only discrete field or dimensions. It can be either way.
okay.
Yeah. So that's clear. Yeah. So hope by now the concepts or the foundation of data visualizations are a bit clear by now. So I believe now we'll pick from where we left. So we were building this visualization last time. So assuming now you are a data analyst and maybe the sales manager has given you this data and he wants you to analyze this data and give a report on it. So what he wants basically is he wants to derive insights from this data so that it can aid in our marketing efforts so that we can drive or boost sales. Yeah, so that's just a hypothetical scenario. So uh, we had started and we were exploring that for the sales that we made or for the category of products that we deal with. So from which category are we generating a high revenue, and from which product categories are we not performing, and then under each category which specific items are selling the most. And I believe that is what we saw last time. So we visualized this data and we saw that representing it using a column bar chart or a horizontal bar chart was the best option for us to use, because for this we can compare values and we can clearly see from the eye which product category is performing well, and also we can dig further and see which product subcategories are performing well and which ones are not. So the insights that we got from this is that we saw technology and furniture product were the top categories, and under each category we were able to select the products that were selling the most. So we saw furniture, chairs and tables were the one that were the most selling. Under office supplies we had storage and binders, and then under technology products we had phones and machines as top selling products. So you see already that is an insight that we've derived from that data. So I'll make sure that whenever I'm doing my report, that is data storytelling, I'll make sure that I include this in my report. And also I won't forget to mention the least performing products. Like for instance, in under each category, we can see the products that are not performing well. So in the furniture category, you see furnishings is not performing. Office supply, you see fasteners are not selling. And in the technology product, we see copiers are also not selling. So in terms of decision making, we'll have proper control of our inventory. What do we stock the most? Yeah. So as part of our marketing campaign, we'll tend to stock more of the products that are selling the most and less of what is not selling. Yeah. So that's how you derive insight. So having seen that, let us look at something else called formatting. So I'd introduce you to formatting charts well. So remember, whenever you create your visualization, you must make sure that the visuals are clear. So remember, you are presenting this to an audience and your visuals are not appealing. So you must make sure you know how to format your data well. So whenever we are applying formatting, so these are the things that we look at. For instance, you can see the background of your visual. We can format the background. We can format the data labels. We can format the bars. Yeah. So the bars you need to format them. So you have to choose the colors of your bars very well. We do also format the axis, that is the X and the Y axis. We do format the fonts, so the font size, the font type. So all those parameters, we must ensure that they are correctly done for our visuals to be appealing and catchy to the eyes of the end user or the people who will be consuming our reports. Yeah. So I'll take this just as an illustration, and the other charts that we'll be doing, we shall be doing the same. Yeah. So let us begin, for instance, by formatting the title. Someone has raised a hand. Maxwell, yes.
Just an observation.
Yes. What? Hello? Yeah. Oh, yes. It's being recorded. For the previous one, I had commented in the group that due to the internet disruption that I had last time, so there was problem with the recording. So, but I believe we have done the recap of that class. So I think much of what we did last time was a bit theoretical, and I did share the PPT. So you can just go through the PPT, but for most of the illustration, I think this one is the most important that we are doing. And yeah, so but you'll get the recordings from this class I'm recording. You'll get the recordings after the class. So tomorrow you'll get it. Yeah, but for the previous two classes, you should not worry too much because much of what we covered was theoretical, and I had already shared the PPT with you. You can simply go through the PPT and you'll be able to catch up. But now for the practical, I think today is when we are doing most of the practicals and it's being recorded. Yeah, so hope we can continue. So let us begin first by editing the title of our chart. So for you to edit your title, so this is the visualization that I'm having. So hope you can see this drop down arrow, this one here. Then go to edit title. So this is sales performance by product category. Sales performance by product category. So that's how I edit it. So I can change the font type. So you can select the font type that you want. We have various font types. So this is a list of the various font types that are there. Yes, Salim.
Hi, friend.
Yes. Yes. Do you have the right data set that I shared? Okay. So I believe so for you to be able to import, you simply go to data, new data source, and then click connect to Microsoft Excel. I believe that file is in the form of Excel. And then this is the data set. Then you click on open. So it's a copy because I had already imported from my end. So this is the data set. It's as simple as that. So we have we have imported that data set into Tableau. And then you can now go to sheet and you can see the various fields, these fields here. Yeah, so that's the procedure for importing. Anyone having the same challenge?
Good evening, Fred.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay, no problem. So you can do this in two ways. So you can either go to the home ribbon or the toolbar, click on new data source. Hope you are following. And then connect. So under connect, you can see you can connect to various types of data sources. So you can either connect to a file, to a server. So you can connect to a file or to a server. So under file, you go to Microsoft Excel. So when you click on Microsoft Excel, you have to now to go on your PC where you have that data, whether it is on your downloads or on your desktop, whichever place it is. You click on it, and then click on open. So right now your data is in, you've now imported it on Tableau. Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. So after you've downloaded or after you've imported, sorry, I realize most of you are not at this point. Let me just get rid of this first. Even this. Yeah, so let's start now. So for you to be able to now build your visualization, what you do is simple. So after you've gone through all your variables, So your variables are in the data pane section. It's called the sidebar. So it is the sidebar data pane. So here you can be able to see all the fields that you are having in your data, right? And this is where you'll always be using this pane, that is the data pane. So the analytics pane, this is for advanced visual, but rarely you'll find yourself using it. So we'll concentrate more on the data pane where you have your variables, right? So take note of these two fields, these two tabs, the data pane and the analytics pane, right? So apart from that, we have also this interface. This interface is called the shelf. So in the shelf section, you can see we have the pages, we have the filters, we have the marks, cards, we do also have the columns, and also we do have the rows. That's what we are having. And then we do have the canvas, or it is also referred to as a view. So at the view or at the canvas, this is where your visualization will appear. And one thing you should note, each sheet you can only do one visualization per sheet in Tableau. It's not like in Excel whereby in a sheet you can do various visualization. Here you can only do one visualization. So your visualizations will appear in sheet 1, in this sheet. So, and how do we do that? For you to build your visualizations, it's simply you dragging fields to the various sections. You are dragging your fields to the rows. You are either dragging to the rows or to the columns. And once you do that, you will see your visualization at the canvas, or it is also called a view. So we were analyzing product category. We want to know the sales that are being made by product that we specialize in. So for instance, when I pick product category, I take it to the rows. So it is giving me the products categories that we specialize in. That is the furniture, office supplies, and technology product. That's what you are saying. So with this, you can see it's already giving you, you can only see category. So we need now a measure. So a measure or a continuous variable. So has someone raised a hand? Celine, yes.
Friend,
You've installed Tableau, right? You've imported the data. So after you've done that, what I know, you are in this field. Are you on this interface? Yes. So look here. We have this. So just follow along. Look here. When you are on this view, yeah, you realize that you're having various sheets on the status bar, or you're having this icon. Look at where my cursor is here at the bottom left. Click on that. Are you having now this view? Sorry, this one. Are you having a sheet?
No.
Yeah. Okay, maybe you can share your screen so that I understand. But okay, are you having these fields? The field. Do you have the data? Just share your screen. Sorry, share your screen. Let me stop sharing mine. Yeah, now share. Saline, are you sharing? Share your screen.
Can you see my?
No.
Are you able to see my screen?
No.
Sorry?
It's not visible. Yeah, now. Yes. Oh, you haven't uploaded the data. That's the problem. So go to data source tab on the status bar. Watch. So go to data source. Go to your bottom left where you have data source.
So I say add, then Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
So I've done it again. I have the tools then.
Go to sheet.
Go to sheets.
Mhm.
Sheets. Sorry. Go to data
Yes.
source again. Go to data source. Data source at the bottom left. Data source tab on your status bar. There's a line. Hello. Hello, Saline. Hello, can you hear me?
Since pregnancy,
Hello, I can see what you're doing. Go to Saline. Hello.
Fred,
Yes, I can hear you.
I realized I think you can't see my screen, but Joseph was able to see it. So
Have you managed? Have you managed to to view all the fields.
Celine, can you try sharing again, please?
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. So go to data source. There's something you haven't done. Go to data source,
Where?
bottom left corner. Yeah. So you see where we have sheets.
Okay.
Drag orders into the empty space where say drag tables here. Drag it.
I've done that.
Yeah, now go to sheets. Now sheet 1.
Okay.
Now you have all your fields there.
This is how it should look.
Yeah, that's how it should look. So
Uh-huh.
one thing that you should note, so whenever you've imported data, simply drag it. So when you are in the data source, drag it to the empty canvas so that you can be able to see your data when you go to sheets. Understood, eh?
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you can stop sharing. So this is what I mean, eh? So when you have imported data, so it will appear under sheets. So there will be nothing here. So you, hello? I'm breaking. How about now? Hope you can hear me well now. Yeah, so whenever you've imported data, so this is how your interface will appear. So what you have to do, your sheets will contain the table data that you've imported. You simply have to drag it this way to this empty area. So when you do that, when you go to sheets, you'll now be able to see your data. Yeah, I hope that is understood. Eh? Yeah. So now let's continue. So we said for you to be able to build your visualization, you simply have to drag fields to either rows or columns. So pick cells. Yeah, so that's it. So I've just drag category to rows and cells to columns. So, but that does not mean that cells should always be on the columns and category to be on the rows. It can be either way, right? So, after doing this, now let us drag product category or subcategory so that we have this view. So what this view is telling us, it's telling us under each product category the amount of sales that were made in each product category.
The only one, he seems to be breaking.
Okay, to the rest, am I breaking or I'm audible? I don't know. Okay, what about now? Hope I'm audible. Hello? Yeah. So we were building this visualization. So I said, for you to be able to build your visualization, you simply drag your fields into columns or rows. So we want to analyze sales by product category. So I take a category to the rows and also sales to the columns. So you pick sales, put it to the columns, and then take product subcategory again, put it to the rows. Yeah, I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm not breaking. Simply alert me. So after you've done that, we can sort this, send this to entire view. So we sort this in descending order. So this is a sales by product category. So now let us add the title to this chart. So for you to be able to add a title, you simply go on that visual, go to this drop down here, click on edit title. Hope we are together up to that point. So this is yeah. So these are sales by product category. So that's how we add a title to your chart. So after you've added the title, you can format your title well. So you can highlight your title and change the font type. So for you to be able to change the font type, you simply highlight the title, go to this drop down here, and among the various font types that are there, you select the one that you want. So for us, someone has raised a hand. Yes, Rebecca. Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Continue. Rebecca, I can hear you. Yes. How do you? You want to remove subcategory, this one? So you start using this. So you want to remove subcategory. Hello, I'm not getting you well, Rebecca. What do you want to remove? So I'm hoping you have these. This is what you have, right? You are having that one, isn't it? Confirm you are having this visual. Have you been able to build this visualization? Hi, Rebecca. Yes, I'm saying, have you been able to build this visualization, this one? So what you simply do, you come here, this is this tab for sorting in descending order. Just that, nothing else changes. Yeah. So we were adding a title to our chart. Okay, so I'm saying we were editing and formatting our chart. So I text product subcategory to this point, like this. And then we sort this. So this is what we are having. Hope you can see this visualization. So whenever you want to format your chart, so you can either do it on the chart itself, or you can go to the home ribbon under format, and you can choose now what you want to format. For instance, we can format the font. If you want to format the font, you simply go to the font, and then under font, you can see format font. Under it, you can see you can format text, you can change the alignment, you can change the shading of your chart. Also, you can change the borders, you can change also the grid lines on your chart. You can also format your sheet, you can format the rows, and also you can format the columns, right? So that's one way of doing formatting of your chart. So the other way is, maybe when you are on the chart, you can right click and go to format. Hope you are getting me well, eh? Yeah. When you are on the chart, simply right click, go to format chart, and you'll be able to format your charts. So let us add a title for this chart. So this is sales by product category. Hope you are hearing me. Hope I'm not breaking. Sales by product category. And then you can change the font type to Tableau semi-bold, and also the color you can change again, and so on. So that's it. Now you are having the title for your chart. Right. So let us go to another kind of visualization. Let us say we want to now analyze sales by region. Sales by region. So let us pick region. Here is region. Take it to rows. Also pick sales. Sales. Take it to columns. Right. So after we've done that, we can break this by segment again. So let me take segment. So these are the segments that we are having. So we have 4 regions, that is central region, east, south, and the west region. So let us now format this chart. So by default, you see it has picked the title, that is sales by region, also by segment. So let us edit this title. This is sales by region per segment. Right? So we can bold and also change the font type to the color that we prefer. So let us put Tableau semi-bold and select the color as orange. So we can also change the font size. Can you hear me?
I think it's on and off, like we can hear you, then you go, it breaks again.
Today seems to be having a poor connection.
Okay. Okay, let me check on this. Just give me a minute. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Confirm whether you can hear me. So we were analyzing sales by region and by segment. So this is the visual, and we were formatting it. So we were adding a title to this visual. So these are sales by region per segment. So for you to be able to add your title, you simply come here and click on edit title, and then you type your title, yeah, and then choose the font type that you want. Either it's Tableau semi-bold, and then you can select the color and also the alignment if you want it to be at the center, and then you click on OK. Yeah, so that's how you edit the title. So let us see now how you can change the color of the bars. So pick cells, take them to color. So you can edit the color of the bars. So you can choose the color palette that you want. If it's red, or you can choose from these selections. If it's blue diverging that you want, that's it. So we can also add data labels. So for you to be able to add data labels, you take, for instance, you take them to labels. So we are having this. So you take it to the labels. So you can edit the labels as well. So you can change the font. So let me change the font size.
Where did you add the title?
Title.
Yes.
So after you've added this visualization, so you see, can you see this arrow here? This one, where my cursor is. Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I click on edit title. Click on edit title. Are you there? Are you there? Are you seeing my screen? Can you see my screen? So what can you not see? the place where to edit the title. Oh? So confirm, go to edit title. So then choose the font color, change this font size and also the font color. Hope we are on the same page now. Are we? Where are you stuck? Can you share your screen? Kindly try that. Rebecca, are you okay now? Are you there, Rebecca? I'm waiting for Rebecca. Is she sorted? Rebecca? Okay. So that's how you change the title. Some of cells. What's your question? What's your question? Sorry, I didn't get your question. Repeat. Elizabeth. Hello. Yeah, what's your question? You're also breaking, eh? Can someone hear Elizabeth? Or okay, just share. Okay, okay. Yeah, I can see your screen. So what's the problem? Yes. No, no, no. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that way. Simply take. Yes. Go to. Simply cancel the formatting. Yeah. You see where you have format sum of cells. Simply cancel that. Yes. go now to the fields and take cells to color. No, fields, data pen, not there, sorry. You see in the data pen, yeah? Go to where we have cells fields. Yes, drag now cells colors. Oh, we are coming there though, but so we are coming there. You simply right click and select that. Okay, so let me share my screen. So we were here. So hope formatting title is not a problem by now. So adding data labels, hope you understand the procedure that we did yesterday for adding data labels. So for you to be able to add data labels on these bars, you simply take cells. Let me first remove this. So you simply come and grab cells, take it to labels. So we have this mark cards shelf, and under it you can see we have labels. So you pick cells, take it to the labels, and you'll be able to see the labels on your charts, right? Hope you can do that. So if you are there, we can format these data labels. See these data labels, let us format them. So we can go to the data labels here and right click and click on format, right? So when we click on format, it will bring this window whereby you can be able now to format the font. If you want it to be orange, and then if you can choose the font type, Tableau semi-bold. You can also choose alignment, and then this one, choose Tableau semi-bold again. So under numbers, you can also format the numbers. So you see here, these numbers, we have various number formats. We have standard number formats, custom, currency. Yes, someone, yes, Rebecca. Rebecca, I see your hand is up. Rebecca, do you have a question? Tablet imepotea tena. Yeah. Hmm. So sorry for that. So Rebecca, I saw your hand was up. Did you have a question? So we were formatting this chart. So we were formatting the labels. So we want to change the format of this to currency. So currency, we change this to dollars.
Are you talking fast?
My network is a bit poor, sorry. Yes, I'm talking. You are not listening? Can you hear me?
You are on mute.
So apology for that. So we were formatting this chart, and we were formatting the labels. So we were changing the fonts, the font type, the font color, and so on. So we've even formatted the number format to currency. So here we put a $sign. Like that. So let us format again the sheet. So we can also format the sheet and we can change the sheet color like that. So that's the sheet color. That's it. So after we've done that, we can remove these lines. You see these lines, we can get rid of them. So we go to lines. So you set grid lines to none. So you can see we are having, we do not have grid lines now. You also get rid of the grid lines or the zero lines. Also get rid of the drop lines. So that's what we are having. So we can again format the axis. So the axis, let us start with the y-axis. We can right click and click on format. So we can change the format of the headers, and we select the font type, and also change the font size. That you can change the shading if you want, but let us leave that. So we can remove this. Sorry. Can hide. So also this we can format. We can format this, the header. You can put a different font. Tableau semi-bold. That. So that's what we have. So as you can see, analyze sales by region and also by segment. So at least you can see it's visually appealing. So hope you've now learned something on formatting and also sorting your charts and so on, changing the layout of your graphs and so on. So we shall also review this tomorrow, since I've had a lot of internet issues today. So, but I'll share this recording again, but we'll also do it tomorrow. Someone has raised a hand. Yes, Stella. Hello, Stella.
With my sheet, I seem to have
Yes. How? Okay. Okay, let me stop sharing mine. Share your screen, please.